Welcome to Roughing It with Ruth, the channel where everything is a bit rough around the edges. I'm sorry about the location that we're filming in right now. We're actually for the first time in a while getting some nice rain in Pretoria, which makes filming with my microphone slightly difficult because it's not waterproof. But I'm very glad for the rain anyway, and I'm going to use a bunch of clips from the hikes that I've done this year to make this footage a little bit more interesting so that you're not just staring at a blank wall. This year, I've gotten to go on so many amazing hikes and test out so much amazing gear that I really never expected to be able to test out. And along the way, I've learned some lessons from hiking that I think apply in everyday life as well. Okay, so the first life lesson that I've learned from hiking this year is that a task being difficult doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with the task or wrong with you. I've found that in regular life, we have to do difficult things so infrequently that when we are doing something that's difficult and it feels really hard and we're kind of miserable because it feels hard, we automatically start thinking that there must be something wrong with what we're doing, or there must be something wrong with ourselves. And that's very often actually not the case at all. Doing something hard can be incredibly rewarding, and it can be the best possible thing that you can do. Sometimes you just have to get through the hard part to get the thing that you really want. And this is actually number 2, my favorite life lesson that hiking has taught me is do not make big decisions when you're feeling really bad. For me, when I'm hiking, I actually have a rule when I'm hiking and running that I should never make a big decision on an uphill, because when I'm on an uphill, I'm often really tired and my legs are burning and I'm not in a great headspace. So my rule with hiking is that if I'm feeling kind of bad and I do need to make a decision, I first stop and replenish my water and my food and rest, and once I'm rested and I'm feeling better, then I can make a big decision. The third life lesson that hiking has taught me is actually sort of an adaptation of a quote from Albert Einstein, which is that the more you learn, the more you realize there is to learn. And I've found this really true with hiking. When you start out, you don't know anything and you take advice from a lot of people. And then as you start gaining a bit of knowledge, you start seeing yourself as a bit more of an expert, and you think you really know it all and you've got this thing waxed and you know what's going on. And then at some point you realize that there is just this enormous universe of knowledge out there, and there is no possible way that you can know it all. So I think the best solution is to be humble and to actually listen to other people as well, because other people often have very valuable insights into hiking or life or anything at all, and just continually being open to learning new things is really beneficial for both hiking and life. Then number 4 kind of carries on from the last 3 things that I've learned from hiking, and that is that you're actually capable of more things than you expect. The first time I ever went on a hike, I had never done something that I was that bad at. I was the slowest, I was struggling the most, I'd packed far too much. Pushing up against your limits like that makes you realize how much more you are actually capable of doing. Then the last lesson that hiking has taught me this year specifically, number 5, is that stuff is not as important as you think. Specifically this year, that has really been brought home to me because I did this whole budget backpacking project. And it's very easy when you're a hiker to get into the mindset of wanting the best gear and wanting the most expensive gear or the best reviewed gear or the newest gear or the most innovative gear. You actually do not need all of that stuff. What I've learned from testing this budget gear is that the most important part of your hiking setup is yourself. There is just as much enjoyment to be had from the outdoors without any of the expensive gear. Thanks so much for watching this video. For the rest of December, I'm going to be taking a break from uploading videos, and I'll upload again in January 2020. So have a great holiday season, and I hope that you have lots of outdoor adventures.